It's been a while since I've shot a video in the kitchen, but I've got a reason to be here today because the gadget I'm showing you is something that belongs primarily in this location, but it is a portable device and it could be used away from here as well. Now, this is something that I backed on Indiegogo. It's just arrived, haven't taken it out of the box yet. It's called the Dayoo Portable Steam Washer. Now, when this was advertised on Indiegogo with the promotional video and all that kind of stuff, they were advertising it more as a dishwasher. In fact, the Indiegogo campaign still says the Dayoo Kitchen Steam Cleaner and Dishwasher. 100% chemical free, hot steam sanitizing, 10-second instant cleaning, water saving and portable. I was a super early bird backer of this. I got it at a really good price, $149. The reason I say that's really good, if you try and buy it now, it's double that price. So, at $149 it might be worth it, at $300 it might not, we'll find out as we go on. But the reason I bought this primarily is because I've got a few things that I never seem to get perfectly clean with traditional cleaning methods. One example I've just got out here is the Ninja grill. If you've got something like this, you'll be aware perhaps that this grill pan part here, the bit that sears the meat, it's difficult to get in between all these ridges and under the handles and things and get all the grease off it. And I spent a lot of time cleaning this. I thought, wouldn't it be great if you could just get a thing, you go spray over it and it would heat it up with the steam and all the grease would come off and it would take a couple of seconds. That's the plan. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's why I've got this thing. And there's plenty of other things around the house you can do with it as well. I say originally they were talking about it being a dishwasher. Now they're going on about it being a steam cleaner and they're showing it on the adverts. People are cleaning their bike tyres and the car alloys and the tiles in the bathroom and anything that you might need to steam clean. So bear in mind, it's not just for one thing, but that's primarily why I got it. So let's get it out of the box and see how good it is at doing that job. By the way, if you haven't got one of those Ninja grills, I highly recommend them. I use it a lot for cooking salmon and steaks and the occasional burger and things. It's one of those air fryer things as well, but I tend to just use the grill aspect on it. So I was a super early bird backer of this, around about number 500 or so, which meant I got it at that very much discounted price. You can see this was one of those things where they'd already pretty much manufactured it. After all, I only backed this at the beginning of the year and I've got it now in April and it was due to come originally in February. So you can see this was a product that they'd already pretty much finished. It was just a pre-order scheme. Okay, now the plug on this is one of those, and that of course won't fit in my plug sockets, but they do provide an adapter for this one, and it is a proper fused one as well, so I don't think I need to worry about using theirs. Hopefully there's some instructions in here. There's various different bits. Right, now I know what these are. These are adhesive strips. And there's clips here, so I think, yeah, there we go, we've got clips, so you'd slot it in there and hold it to a wall, and the idea is you could just keep it using it in that location, or you could take it down and use it as a portable device. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to stick it on the wall just yet. We need to see if it's any good. So give me a minute, let me have a read through these instructions, I'll tell you all about it. Okay, it's a very simple device. We've just got the one main knob on the front here that adjusts the steam level that comes out of the end of this section here. This has a button which no doubt activates that steam. It comes with a nice long hose and it attaches into this cradle here. It's quite a heavy thing to hold this. It does have a leather handle on the side and I haven't even put water in it yet, so it will get quite a bit heavier. We've got a power switch there just below the handle, and around on this side, this is where the water goes into it. We've got a see-through water reservoir, and at the top we've got the section where you pour your water in. Now, the only issue with this at the moment is I don't really fancy using it in this one-handed way. It would have been nice if it had a handle on the top. I think that might have been a little bit easier, but this kind of angle, this is not working well for me. So I think I'm going to attach this to the wall, even though I haven't used it yet. It'd just be so much nicer if I could just plonk it up here and then just use the hose down into the sink that's just down below here. So hopefully it's good, because otherwise I've stuck it to the wall for no purpose. Now, I mentioned it had a couple of different holders here. We've got two of these adhesive ones, one of those being a spare, no doubt, because there's only one bracket on the back. And then we've got one that you can screw through things and would hold it a little bit safer. But I don't want to go screwing holes in my cupboards, even if they are a little bit dated. So I'm just going to clean this off with some isopropyl alcohol, then stick it on, and then we'll try using it. Right, I think I'll break for lunch now, and I'm going to give this a little bit of time to stick. Now, these instructions are a little bit too brief. They give you enough information to get it going. However, there's nothing in here about the orientation that you're supposed to keep this device in. It just says don't tip it over, which doesn't really explain very much. So I was thinking that you had to always use it vertically like that, but I've just gone and had a look at the videos, the promotional videos again, and there was a chap who was cleaning his car or something. He had it in this position here, and I would have thought that wouldn't have been a good idea for this water tank, but apparently not. It seems like you can use it like that. And also, when you hold it on the handle, he was holding it in this jaunty angle as well. So it's perhaps not as difficult to use as a portable device as I first thought. I'm going to try it out later and see if it leaks all over the place. But for the moment, I'm just going to pop it on the wall and we'll give it a go here. I'm quite fortunate that this panel's here because that means I can fill the water up whilst it's in position on the wall. The only issue is the power button's on the other side, but you can reach across and feel where that is without too much difficulty. Oh, by the way, on the back of here, there are some rubber pads at the bottom to avoid scratching whatever you're putting it on, but it should just clip on there like that. Just trying to make sure I've got it on properly. Right, there we go. So now I just need to fill up this water tank. Now I'm just removing this sticker. All it says is that there may be some water vapour left inside the tank from the factory testing, and I'll need to clean it off properly later. The maximum level for this water tank is up there, so I've got all this to play around with. Looks like quite a big tank, and they just give me this little thing to fill it up with. Of course I could use other things, but let's, for fun, just see how many of these it takes to fill this up. This holds 100 millilitres. I say fun, I think we've got quite different definitions of fun probably, but there we go, that's one. I'd imagine it probably holds about a litre, but we'll find out. And that's 10. So yeah, it holds approximately 1 litre. Now before I turn it on, I just want to show you the accessories you get. Well, of course this glove here, I think that's to hold the pots and things as you're cleaning them, and then you clean it with the other hand here, because of course this one's away from the steam, but that one could get steam on it. That wasn't shown on any of the promotional literature. No doubt somebody's told them to include that to avoid problems. As far as this goes, well, that's your main nozzle there, which you use most of the time. However, this just comes off if you press that button in, and you can replace it with this one, which holds a scouring pad on the top. There are 2 spare scouring pads there. They're held on with a Velcro type attachment, and you can replace that with one of these, which is a soft rubbery type thing, which apparently is for cleaning clothes with, or at least using on clothes for maybe getting marks off them and things. But yeah, generally scouring pad for difficult jobs, or most of the time you're just going to be using this thing here. Right, and there's a bit of information on here. I'm just going to take it off so we can read it on camera because it's a little bit too far away there. It just tells us about the colour of this ring here. It says once you've turned it on, white light shows the power's on, red light is preheating, blue light's ready, and yellow light means that it's running out of water. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on by pressing the button on the side here. And, oh, need to turn on the plug socket as well. There we go. So we've got a beep. Right, so red means that it's heating up. So it's ready to go. Let's see what it does. Okay, so the button is one you don't have to hold all the time. You just press it and then the steam comes out. And then once you press it again, it takes a couple of seconds for it to stop because of course there's still some steam in the system that needs purging. Let's try cleaning that grill now. Let's put the plug in, and I'll put a bit of water in the bottom so that we can see if that changes colour with all the grease coming off it. And let's just pop that in there now and see if we can get some of this grease off. Right, now let's see if this is hot to touch. It's alright. Well, I haven't got much off, have I? I mean, it might just be the grease in there, some clear grease. Let's just have a look at this thing. Now, I don't know how well this is coming across on the camera, but you can see once I put a light on here, how grubby these parts are under the handle because they're just so difficult to reach. So let's try and concentrate on these 3 here, which are definitely in need of a clean, just below the handle on the left. I've taken the water out this time because I thought we'll see how much water builds up in the sink once I'm using it. But yeah, I'm going to concentrate on this bit here and we'll see if I can get those clean. Okay, moment of truth. I've just spent, I don't know, 2-3 minutes on those. Let's see if they're any better. No. It doesn't shift baked on grease like I hoped it would do. Well, that's a waste of time, wasn't it? Yeah, great. No improvement at all. You see, now this would be time to use the scourer, although I'm not sure whether this surface is particularly suitable for using a scourer on, given that it's supposedly non-stick and also doesn't really fit particularly well in those gaps, because if I'm scraping that way I'm going to be spraying sideways, but we'll give it a go. Right, I'm seeing some improvement now, definitely. Those two are clean, on this side at least, maybe not as much on that side. It's hard to get it angled just right, getting it into that gap, and you can see things like this little section here underneath the handle. There's no chance I'm going to get anything in there, but yeah, I can see it's definitely cleaning something off. So after a long go, I might be able to get this corner clean. Let's just carry on. Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of an improvement, but it's a lot of effort for very little result. And also, just take a look at that now. I've basically knackered that one in. I've done a couple of slats on this thing. I mean, that's not going to go back to its original shape again. So, yeah, it's not good for cleaning baked on dirt. Right, now after perhaps 15 minutes cleaning, I've still got just under half a tank of water here. So I'm going to top that up and take this thing outside. Now, of course, it does still rely on a plug to give it power. It's not battery operated, so you'll need an extension lead, but I'll try cleaning something out in the garden. I'm using my own jug this time. It'll be a lot quicker than 10 trips to the tap with that tiny little one. Right, let's take it outside. Okay, well, I've left it flat here for a few minutes and we haven't had any leakages yet, and it looks like it will hold its water without any problem, which is good. So let's just plug it in, and I'm going to try and clean one of these steps here because they look a little bit mucky. I am struggling to see the lights on this, but I think it's ready to go, so here we go. Right, let's try cleaning this step in the middle here where all the black is. Well, it's clearly working, but a pressure washer would do this job in a quarter of the time, so it's perhaps not best suited for something like this either. Okay, one last thing I want to try, this Ember mug. This is the one with a built-in heater that maintains the temperature of your coffee. But as it heats up the coffee, it tends to stain the bottom of it. I've never been able to get this clean, so let's give this a go. Now, one thing with trying to clean a cup or a mug, the water splashes back on you a bit too much, but yeah, no difference. I mean, I think that's permanently stained now, but it was the last thing I wanted to try. Right, let's sum things up. I've got to say, it looks a bit like an electric car charger, doesn't it? But it got me thinking, you know, earlier on I mentioned a pressure washer when I was trying to clean those steps. Have you ever encountered someone that's got a pressure washer for the first time? You might have seen them on the street where you live and they've done their drive and then they think, this is great, and they start going onto the fence, and then next thing you know, they're halfway down the road with a big extension lead doing the neighbour's drive and the pavement and all that. That's what happens when you get something that works really well and you get quite enthusiastic about trying to use it on all different things. The opposite was happening here. I was going around trying to find things that I thought it might be able to clean, and I've struggled. I mean, I tried the tiles in the bathroom. There was a little bit of black mould on one of those, but it turned out it wasn't really great at shifting that. So you kind of going around looking, thinking, well, what could I clean with this? And I've been struggling. I mean, it didn't do what I got it for, the initial thing to clean off that kind of baked on grease on that grill pan. Now, if I'd have started with that grill pan, brand new, fresh, and cleaned it every time, after a meal with this, maybe it would have maintained it a lot better, but it's too late for that now. It's baked on and it won't get it off, which is what I got the thing for in the first place. Now, in the adverts, they show you cleaning sort of plates and things and all that, but you can clean plates very easily anyway. Just get a sponge, bit of hot water, a couple of seconds, no problem. A lot of things mentioned sterilising stuff for like babies' bottles. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not into that kind of stuff. So all that I'm left with now is this. I'm thinking, well, what can I clean with it? And I'm going to keep trying things, but honestly, the jury's out on this one. And staying true to my word, I went back to use the device again. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I cleaned up the plates I'd used for my evening meal with it. And the experience with that is that, well, it's slow. It takes a long time because you have to cover every last centimetre or millimetre of the plate. And even after doing that, when I run my hand across it, I felt some rough sections, areas that hadn't been perfectly cleaned. So I had to go back and do it again. And that's just with one plate. Repeat for numerous plates and pots. It's a very slow process. The benefit of it, though, I've got to mention this, is that it uses very little water. So perhaps if you had this in a caravan or a motorhome, that might be a good idea. But in my experience, in my house, it's not really proved its worth quite yet. I can't recommend it because it hasn't really done anything that I wanted it to do yet, and it cost me £150, and now they're $150, and now they're $300. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you see this and you think that is perfect for what I need, then yeah, go ahead and get one. But I'm not going to be the guy to sell it to you. You've got to decide for yourself. I'm sure there are plenty of people watching this who've got ideas for things that this would be great at cleaning. It's just I didn't come up with them. But bear in mind, there are perhaps 100,000 people watching this. There are going to be more ideas out there than are up here. So yeah, I'll put a link to it in the video description. Non-affiliated, entirely down to you whether you want to purchase one of these. But at least now you kind of know what it does and what it doesn't do. And for me, it doesn't do a lot so far. But anyway, that's it for the moment. As always, thanks for watching.